I'm Mr. MegaManFan. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know all the things to do. And today, I'm trying out PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 1 compatible controllers on the SuperStation 1. I picked up this really sweet crystal red PS1 controller at the thrift store, and it inspired me. I thought now's the time to put those snack control ports to the test and see how it functions actually playing PlayStation 1 games. But it's kind of counterintuitive. It doesn't just work when you plug it in. And I was a little disappointed at first because I had to play with my Steam Deck controller until I figured it out. And then I realized what you need to do is go into the settings and switch the type of pad you're using to snack. And only then, when you do that, will it actually recognize that you've plugged a PlayStation controller into whichever port you're using a real PlayStation controller on. But once you do that, they all work. The original PlayStation controller from the mid 90s, the dual analog controller that followed that eventually got bundled with the PS1 re release, everything, including the Retro Fighters Defender, they all work with this snack port. So that's really the most important thing I've got to tell you in this video is PlayStation 1 controllers do work on the SuperStation 1, but not by default. You have to switch them on in the system's menu. Thankfully, the SuperStation 1 comes preloaded with a program that allows you to test your controllers, so you'll know if you switched on the snack port correctly. If you fire up the control pad tester and start pushing buttons and see the inputs on the screen, you'll know that you did it right. Now, I'm going to guess without knowing for 100% fact that the reason you don't get the classic PlayStation boot up on the SuperStation 1 is because it doesn't have an actual Sony BIOS on here and that you probably have to supply one yourself. But their simulacrum BIOS runs PlayStation games just fine from what I can tell. I had no problem booting up the Atari Classics or Castlevania Chronicles using it, so I can always copy the BIOS off my Mu Mini Plus or my Retroid Pocket, and then I'll have the correct boot up sequence that we all know and love. But in the meantime, in between time, it does the job just fine. I'm skipping a little ahead in my playthrough here because I wanted to show Trevor some wall chicken. He had never heard of this term, I guess because he didn't grow up playing Castlevania games and hadn't seen any of the modern memes and jokes about it, so that one was for you, Trevor. I got some wall chicken just for you. It probably can't be overstated just how much this looks and feels like playing a PS1 when you're using the SuperStation 1 with a PlayStation controller. Everything just looks and feels right. So that look and feel that Taki Udon was going for, he got it. He nailed it. This, if I didn't know any better, I'd feel like I was playing a PlayStation 1 right now, only if not for the fact that I've got modern options like save states and HDMI output. And once this thing gets paired with the SuperStation dock when that releases, you'll be playing actual PlayStation games and not just the ROMs of the games, not just the disc images, but the actual games on the actual physical disc, which will truly be breathtaking. It will be like an analog PlayStation. It's the only way I can think of to describe it. You know, there's never been such a thing, but in due time there will be such a thing. And I'm kind of surprised nobody's actually tried to make an analog console that plays PlayStation games. I suppose the closest thing that would come to that would be the Polymega, but the Polymega to me has so many issues and problems that I don't even think that is a really viable way to play disc-based media compared to what the SuperStation 1 is going to be able to do once the dock is released. So I look forward to getting that, and I have to commend Taki Udon on just how much fun it is to play games on the SuperStation 1. I'm in seventh heaven already, and I've only just begun to scratch the surface of what this thing can do. I'm Mr. Mega Man Fan, and as always, thank you for watching.